Audiobook Academy presents The Mamba Mentality. How I Play by Bryant. Explained. Chapter 1. The Beginning. In this chapter, Kobe takes us back to when he was just a kid, like when you're still in school and haven't grown up yet. He wants to tell us how his mom and dad really liked sports, and because they liked it so much, he started liking it too. It's kind of like when you see your friends really excited about something and it makes you want to try it too. Kobe's parents were into sports, which means they played games like basketball and probably talked about them a lot. Being around them, Kobe couldn't help but get interested in these games too. He learned that when you want to be good at something, you need to start with the basics, like the simple and important stuff. Just like how you learn to read before you can read big books, Kobe learned the basics of sports first. He talks about how his parents taught him that you have to work hard if you want to get better at something. It's kind of like when you're trying to learn how to ride a bike. At first, it's really hard and you might fall a lot. But if you keep trying and practicing, you get better and better. That's what Kobe learned. That hard work is like a magic ingredient that helps you improve. All these things he learned from his parents. The love for sports, starting with the basics, and putting in hard work. It set the stage for his big journey. It's like when you're starting to build a castle out of blocks, you need a strong foundation, and his parents gave him that foundation. And guess what? All these lessons he learned when he was a little kid, they helped him become a basketball legend later on. So, this chapter is like the first page of a really cool adventure story, where a little kid with a big dream starts on his journey to become amazing at something he loves. Chapter 2. The Mindset. In this chapter, Kobe talks about how he thinks about playing basketball, and he calls it the Mamba mentality. Now, you might be wondering what that means. Well, it's like a special way of thinking that Kobe had when he played. Imagine you have a favorite toy or game, and you really, really, really love it. You want to make it the best, right? So you take care of it, you learn everything about it, and you practice using it a lot. That's pretty much what the Mamba mentality is for Kobe. He wanted to be the best at basketball, so he did everything he could to make it happen. Kobe talks about working really hard and never giving up. It's like when you're building a really tall tower with blocks and you keep adding more and more to make it taller. He wanted to improve all the different parts of his game, like shooting, passing, and defense. And he didn't want to just be okay. He wanted to be excellent at everything he did on the basketball court. You know, when you're playing a game and you try to beat your own high score. That's a bit like what Kobe did. He wanted to do better. Every time he played, and he didn't want to stop until he reached his best. He talks about pushing his own limits, which means he wanted to do things that he didn't think he could do before. Think about when you're learning a new skill, like riding a skateboard. At first, it might feel a bit scary, but as you practice, you get better, and soon you're doing tricks. You get better, and soon you're doing tricks you never thought you could. That's the kind of feeling Kobe had. He wanted to do things that seemed tough at first, but he kept practicing until they became easy for him. So, this chapter is like Kobe telling us about his special way of thinking when he played basketball. It's about never giving up, always trying to do better, and working really hard to be excellent at what you love. Just like how you might want to be the best at a game you really enjoy. Kobe wanted to be the best at basketball. And that's what the Mamba mentality is all about. Chapter 3. Handling Success and Failure. Kobe talks about something that everyone goes through. Winning and losing. You know how sometimes you do really well at something, and other times things don't work out the way you hoped. Well, that's what he's talking about. Kobe had times when he did really, really great on the basketball court. It's like when you score a goal in a game or get a high score in a video game. But he also had times when things didn't go his way, like when his team lost a game or he didn't play as well as he wanted to. He's saying that both winning and losing are part of the game. Just like how you can't always win every game you play. He tells us about some tough times he faced, like when his team didn't win the championship. It's like when you practice really hard for a spelling bee and you still don't win. He felt sad and disappointed, but he didn't give up. Instead, he used those tough moments to learn and get better. It's a bit like when you try to do a puzzle and some pieces don't fit. You keep trying different ways until they fit just right. Kobe calls this ability to keep going after tough times resilience. It's like when a rubber ball bounces back after you throw it on the ground. It doesn't stay down, it comes back up. He's saying that even when things don't go well, you can learn from those moments and come back even stronger. Imagine if you're learning to ride a bike and you fall off a few times. You might get scared, but you don't give up. You get back on and try again until you finally ride without falling. That's what Kobe's talking about, not giving up when things get hard and using those tough times to make yourself better. So, this chapter is like Kobe telling us that it's okay to have good days and bad days, but what's important is how you handle them. Just like he learned from his mistakes and got better, you can too. It's like a story where the hero faces challenges but keeps going. And in the end, they become even stronger. Chapter 4. Adapting to your opponent. Kobe is sharing something really interesting about how he played basketball. Imagine you're playing a game with a friend, like a card game or a video game. Sometimes you need to figure out what your friend is doing so you can make the right moves to win. Well, that's kind of what Kobe did in basketball, but with a little twist. He tells us that when he was getting ready to play against another team, he didn't just focus on what he and his team could do. He also spent time figuring out what the other team was good at. It's like if you're going to play soccer against a team that's really good at scoring goals, you might want to come up with a plan to stop them from scoring. Kobe's basketball version of this is like studying your opponent's playbook, the list of strategies they use. He wanted to know their strengths and weaknesses so he could adjust his own moves to counter theirs. It's kind of like when you're playing a video game and you know that your opponent always attacks from the left side, so you make sure to guard the left side better. But the thing is, opponents change their strategies. Sometimes they might surprise you with something new. Kobe says that's why it's important to keep watching and learning during a match or a season. It's like if your friend suddenly starts using a new trick in a game, you need to adapt and come up with a way to beat that trick. Kobe's point is that in basketball, just like in any game, you can't stick to just one plan. You need to be ready to change your approach when the situation changes. It's like when you're building a sandcastle at the beach and the waves start coming in. You have to adjust your sandcastle to keep it from getting washed away. So, this chapter is all about being smart and flexible when you're playing a game. It's like a puzzle where you keep finding the right pieces to fit as the picture changes. And just like how Kobe learned to adapt and change his game, you can learn to adjust and keep playing your best no matter what the other team does. Chapter 5. Leadership. Kobe is talking about something really important. Being a leader. Have you ever been in a group project at school or a team game, and there's someone who helps the group work well together? That's a bit like what Kobe is talking about here. Being a leader means you're like the captain of a team, but Kobe says it's not just about telling people what to do. It's more about showing them how to do things by your actions. It's like if you're playing a game of pretend with your friends, and you decide to be the superhero who always helps others and does the right thing. You're showing them how to be a good guy by the things you do. Kobe tells us that when he played basketball, he didn't just talk the talk. He walked the walk. He worked really hard and practiced a lot, showing his teammates how dedicated he was. It's like when you want your friends to clean up their toys, but you start by cleaning up your own toys first. He talks about trust too, which is like when your friends know they can count on you. Think about playing a game of hide and seek. You trust that your friend won't peek while you're hiding. In basketball, trust is super important too. Kobe built trust by always doing his best and supporting his teammates. When they saw him working hard, they knew they could trust him to do his part. Another thing Kobe mentions is motivation. Imagine you're playing a team game and your teammate gives you a high five and says, "You can do it." That's motivating, right? Kobe did something similar. He encouraged his teammates and made them feel like they could achieve anything together. He's saying that leadership is about making your team stronger and helping them do their best. Just like when you're playing with your friends and you share ideas to make the game even more fun. It's like being a team player and cheering each other on. So, this chapter is all about being a leader who doesn't just talk but shows others how to do great things. It's like being the superhero who makes the game awesome for everyone. And just like Kobe learned to lead his team on the basketball court, you can learn to lead in your own special way too. Chapter 6. The Process. In this chapter, Kobe is diving into something really interesting. The way he got better and better and better at basketball. Imagine you're building something amazing with blocks. You start with the simple pieces, and as you keep adding more, it becomes something incredible. Well, that's kind of like what Kobe is talking about with his process of getting better at basketball. So, you know how when you're learning something new, like riding a bike or playing a new game, you practice a lot? That's what Kobe did too, but he took it to the next level. He practiced the same moves over and over again, like shooting the basketball or dribbling it. It's like practicing the same jump in a video game until you land it perfectly every time. Now, you might be wondering, why would he do the same thing over and over? Kobe says that by practicing the basics again and again, he was building a super strong foundation. Just like how you need strong legs to ride a bike without falling, he needed a strong foundation to play basketball really well. And guess what? This strong foundation made him really confident. It's like when you know how to do something really well, you're not scared to show it off. Kobe says that by mastering the basics, he could then get creative and try new things during a game. It's like when you're painting a picture and you start with the basic colors before adding all the cool details. Kobe calls this whole process the grind. It's like a chef making a delicious meal. They put in a lot of effort to make everything taste amazing. Kobe wants you to see that even though practicing the same things can sometimes feel boring, it's actually the secret to getting really good at something. He's saying that the process of getting better is like a journey. Imagine you're going on a road trip. You might drive for a long time, but eventually, you'll reach an awesome destination. That's what Kobe did. He embraced the journey of practicing and learning, and it led him to become an incredible basketball player. So, this chapter is all about how practice, even if it seems repetitive, is what makes you truly great. It's like building a tower of blocks one piece at a time. And just like Kobe learned to love the process of improvement, you can too, whether you're playing a sport, learning an instrument, or doing anything else you love. Chapter 7. Coaching Philosophy. Kobe is talking about something really cool, being a coach. You know how, when you play a game with your friends, sometimes one of you gets to be the leader and helps everyone have a good time. Well, being a coach is kind of like that, but with a bit of a twist. Kobe tells us that after he finished playing basketball, he decided to become a coach. It's like when you've learned a lot about a game and you want to help others get better at it too. He wanted to share all the things he learned from playing basketball for so many years. Now, being a coach doesn't mean telling everyone exactly what to do all the time. Kobe says it's more about helping players think for themselves. Imagine you and your friends are building a fort out of blankets and pillows. You might have different ideas about how to make it strong and cozy. Being a coach is like helping your friends come up with their own ideas, instead of telling them exactly where to put each blanket. Kobe's coaching philosophy is all about teaching players how to solve problems on the basketball court. It's like when you're playing a board game and you need to figure out the best move to win. He wanted his players to learn how to think quickly and make smart decisions during a game. He also talks about developing skills. Imagine you're learning to draw. At first, your pictures might be a bit messy, but as you practice more, they start looking really good. Kobe wanted to help his players practice and get better at basketball skills, just like you practice drawing to become an awesome artist. Kobe's coaching is like guiding his players on an adventure. It's like when you and your friends go on a treasure hunt and you work together to find the hidden treasures. He wanted his players to work together as a team and find the treasures on the basketball court, like scoring points, making great passes, and playing strong defense. So, this chapter is about how Kobe became a coach and what he believes in. It's like he's sharing the secrets of being a great leader and helping others shine. Just like how you might help your friends play a game even better. Kobe wanted to help his players be their best on the basketball court. Chapter 8. The Competitive Edge. Kobe is sharing some super interesting stuff about how he got really, really good at basketball. You know how in a race, the tiniest things can make a big difference between winning and coming second? Well, that's what Kobe is talking about. How paying attention to even the smallest details can give you a big advantage. Imagine you're building a sandcastle at the beach. You need to make sure every grain of sand is in the right place to make it strong and awesome. Kobe is saying that in basketball, just like with the sandcastle, focusing on the little details can make you super strong. He talks about mental preparation, which is like getting your mind ready for a challenge. Imagine you're going to a party. You might want to plan what you're going to wear, what games you'll play, and what snacks you'll have. Mental preparation for basketball is similar. Kobe says that by thinking about the game before it starts, you can be ready for anything. Kobe also tells us about staying ahead of the competition. Imagine you're in a race and you see your friend ahead of you. You might try to run a bit faster to catch up, right? Well, in basketball, staying ahead means thinking one step ahead of your opponents. It's like planning your moves so that they're surprised by what you do. He's saying that being competitive is like being in a super exciting game where you want to win. Imagine you're playing a game of tag and you're trying to be the last one tagged. You might run faster, hide better, and be more sneaky to win. Kobe wanted that same competitive spirit in basketball. He wanted to be the best, and he worked hard to make it happen. So, this chapter is all about how focusing on the small things, like how you build a sandcastle one grain at a time, can give you a big edge. Kobe wanted to be mentally prepared and always ready to surprise his opponents. It's like a puzzle where you put all the pieces together to become a master at your game. Just like Kobe, you can learn to pay attention to details and always stay one step ahead in whatever you love to do. Chapter 9, the last chapter. In this chapter, Kobe is sharing something really personal and heartfelt. Imagine you're reading a book and you reach the last page. It's like finishing a really good story, and that's what Kobe is talking about here. The end of his basketball playing days. He talks about retiring from basketball, which is like deciding it's time to stop playing a game you really love Imagine you've been playing a video game for a long time, and then one day you decide it's time to turn it off. Kobe's basketball journey was a bit like that. He played for a really long time, and then he knew it was time to stop. Now, when you stop playing a game or doing something you enjoy, it can feel a bit sad, right? It's like saying goodbye to your favorite stuffed animal that you've had for years. Kobe felt a mix of emotions when he retired. He was proud of all he had achieved, but he also had to say goodbye to something that had been a huge part of his life. But here's the cool part. Kobe didn't just stop and do nothing. Imagine you finish reading one book and then you pick up another exciting book to read. Kobe found new passions and challenges after he stopped playing basketball. He learned new things and explored different interests, just like trying a new game or hobby. He's saying that life is like an adventure, and there are always new things to discover and enjoy. It's like when you're exploring a new place and you find hidden treasures and exciting surprises. Kobe wants you to know that even if something you love comes to an end, there are plenty of amazing things waiting for you. So, this chapter is about Kobe's journey coming to an end as a basketball player. It's like finishing a chapter in a book and getting ready to start a new one. Kobe found new adventures and passions, and he wants you to know that no matter what, there are always exciting things ahead in your own adventure called life. Chapter 10. Epilogue. We've reached the very end of the book, and this chapter is like the closing scene in a movie where everything comes together. In this chapter, Kobe is giving his final thoughts and sharing something really important. He's been talking about the Mamba mentality throughout the whole book. Imagine if you had a secret recipe to make the most delicious cookies. Well, the Mamba mentality is like Kobe's secret recipe for success in basketball and in life. It's all about working really hard, never giving up, and always trying to get better. So, in this last chapter, Kobe is sort of looking back at everything he's told us. It's like when you finish building a huge puzzle, and you take a moment to look at the whole picture. He's thinking about how he learned from his parents, how he worked really hard, and how he faced challenges and kept going. Kobe wants you to feel inspired by his story. Imagine if your friend did something really cool. Like winning a big race. You might think, wow, if they can do it, maybe I can do something awesome too. Kobe hopes that by sharing his experiences and the Mamba mentality, you'll feel like you can achieve great things too. He's like a coach giving you a pep talk before a big game. Imagine your coach telling you that you can do it and all you need to do is believe in yourself and put in the effort. Kobe believes that if you follow the Mamba mentality, you can do amazing things in whatever you're passionate about, whether it's sports, art, school, or anything else. This chapter is like the grand finale of the book, where Kobe is sending you off with a message of hope and encouragement. Just like when you finish a really good movie and you're left feeling inspired, Kobe wants you to take the Mamba mentality with you on your own journey. It's like carrying a special superpower that helps you overcome challenges and reach for the stars. So, as you close the book, remember the Mamba mentality and all the amazing things Kobe shared with you. Your adventure is just beginning, and with dedication, hard work, and the belief that you can improve, you can create your own story of success and achievement. Here are the key points of the Mamba mentality. How I Play by Kobe Bryant. Key points number 1. Foundations of hard works. Kobe reflects on his early years and how his parents' love for sports influenced his mindset. He emphasizes the importance of starting with the basics and working hard to build a strong foundation. Key points number 2. The Mamba mentality. Kobe introduces the Mamba mentality, which is his approach to basketball and life. It's about relentless work ethic, dedication to improvement, and striving for excellence in all aspects of the game. Key points number 3. Handling success and failure. Kobe discusses the challenges of dealing with both success and failure. He shares his personal experiences of overcoming setbacks and stresses the value of resilience and learning from mistakes. Key points number 4. Adapting to your opponent. Kobe talks about studying opponents to adjust his aim accordingly. He emphasizes the importance of analyzing opponents' strategies and adapting to changing dynamics during games or seasons. Key points number 5. Leadership. Kobe delves into his leadership style, focusing on leading by example through actions rather than just words. He discusses building trust and motivating teammates to perform at their best. Key points number 6. The process of improvement. Kobe explains his dedication to improvement by focusing on repetitive practice and mastering the basics. He highlights that this foundation allows for creative expression during games and encourages readers to embrace the process of improvement. Key points number 7. Coaching philosophies. Kobe shares his coaching philosophy, which involves empowering players to think for themselves, solve problems on the court, and develop their skills. He aims to guide players toward becoming strong and independent decision-makers. Key points number 8. The competitive edge. Kobe talks about the significance of paying attention to small details that can give a big advantage. He emphasizes mental preparation and staying ahead of the competition by thinking one step ahead. Key points number 9. The last chapter. Reflecting on his retirement from basketball, Kobe discusses the emotional aspect of leaving the game. He emphasizes finding new passions and challenges after the end of a playing career. Key points number 10. Epilogue. The book concludes with Kobe's hope that readers will be inspired by the Mamba mentality to apply principles of hard work, dedication, and continuous improvement to their own pursuits.
Thank you so much for watching at Audiobook Academy. I hope you found this video enjoyable and informative. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more amazing content just like this.